That's right, it is that time again, folks. What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? And yes, it is that time. I'm starting just a little bit earlier this year, for no other reason than, of course, I can. Guys, for anyone who's new or fairly new to my channel, every year I do the Greater Boston Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's held in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's a 3-mile walk, which is perfect because I have a bad hip, and that's not too taxing on me. But either way, it's always the third week of September on a Sunday. I believe this year it's the 22nd. Could be off on that one. Just about a little bit. But every year I usually do this big elaborate video to kick off the campaign with sad music and some whimsical, cute little thing to, like a catchphrase, I guess you will. A little thing to get you excited about it like me. And I do it all in the memory of my father who passed away of Alzheimer's disease in 2006 at the age of 63. I normally give you all kinds of statistics and the typical, this is why you should donate. I'm not going to do all that this year. We're going to kick it off with something very special. Something that a gentleman named Mike, we'll get to it here in a second. You all know who he is already because, well, you clicked on the video and you saw the thumbnail. But I've been talking about his new controller for the 7800 to play Robotron 2084. But he has generously asked me to give one of his controllers away. So that's what you're actually here to see. But we will, of course, pepper in the entire Alzheimer's thing. And actually, it really kind of drives it in a little bit further why I do this. I can sit here and say, okay, I do it for my father, and that's all well and good. I don't do it for my father. I do it in the memory of him for those folks who may eventually be afflicted with the disease, those who are suffering and struggling with it now, those who get diagnosed this afternoon. Okay, see, I'm getting all choked up. God damn it. But anyone who gets involved in this, and the caretakers, the amount of psychological and financial and just physical toll it takes on them, I do it for those folks. Guys, I could tell you I do it for my dad, but guess what? He's gone. He's gone. And there ain't nothing we can do about that. You could donate $2 bajillion today, and that's not going to change the fact that he is gone. But there's my neighbor, your uncle, your grandmother, your grandfather. That's who I do this for. And to add to it, Mike, and I'm going to try to say his name properly, Torillo, I hope I didn't butcher that, buddy. Mike Torillo of Retro Game Guys with the Z. Well, let's back up just a little bit. Let's go over here. This is his YouTube page, okay? And you're going to notice there's a black and red one that looks just like the one you just saw, okay? He's just launched this one. And if you look just underneath it, there's a controller that's very similar. They're both for the actual 7800, okay? They both do the same thing. You can also use it with the 2600. But what's different about the red and black one above that is obviously a price difference. And there's some cosmetic differences aside from, of course, the coloring, okay? Leave that alone. He got rid of the start and select buttons from the 7800. He printed up a little pad for the front of it. And, of course, it's got those really cool grips. But more importantly, it's kind of like more of a, and I don't want to call it a cheap version. It's like an entry-level version. It's a little cheaper, but it's very responsive. And I will show you a demonstration video at the end of this because it's all 3D printed except for, of course, the board. The boards are custom made. He worked with an engineer to get the boards put together. So these are quality parts instead of injection molding, which is expensive and takes time, and shipping and all this crap from wherever it's manufactured. He just chose to 3D print this one and offer it at a lower price point. Same quality as far as play. He says they're very responsive. How can you beat that? 25 bucks for a custom controller for your 7800, which we got that stupid, and the European Game Pads are starting to way up there in price. So this is an amazing alternative. Now, what's even better is he contacted me the other day and said, would you like to give one of these away? So I'm thinking to myself, you want me to give one of your products away? And he's like, well, yeah, you've been a cool guy, which, I'm a cool guy. And he's like, I just launched this. why don't you just give one away? And I'm thinking in his head, he's going to help us both out. He's going to get some more followers on his tweeters and stuff, maybe some more sales on his eBay, and of course, maybe he'll bring some people here. But more importantly, he gave me the choice of how I wanted to do it. And that right there is how you can get that right there for free, so to speak. Okay? Going back to why I do this. My dad's dead. I've already mentioned that. When I mentioned I wanted to tie this into my Alzheimer's Association, my walk down to Alzheimer's, Mike tells me his grandmother's got it. Guys, I've talked to people since I've been doing it on YouTube. Every year, new people from all over the world. I've talked to people in Canada, here in the States. I got a cat out in Australia who donated last year or the year before, who thanked me for doing it because a family member of his. Dude, every year I have a new one. I meet new people, and it's like, this guy's like, hey, give away one of my controllers. I'm like, cool. Can I tie it in with my Alzheimer's? He's like, dude, that's perfect. My grandmother has it. Guys, it's important. It's not just to me. It's just enough with the Alzheimer's Association. You get the point. It's devastating. You can go to the Alzheimer's Association website to get all the facts. I normally do that every year. I'll let you do it. But let's just put it this way. Every 50-something seconds, someone comes down with it. Every 50-something seconds, okay? Hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars are spent a year just caring for these folks at home. Guys, there's more to just the inflicted that we've got to worry about. But we also have to work towards that goal of ending Alzheimer's disease. So, for the controller. This is what we are going to do. Let me get my my ducks in a row here. I'll leave this image up because I know you want to look at that. That's a sexy controller. All right, let me talk about it for a few minutes. It's all 3D printed, like I said. Both the gamepad and the grip. Now the grip, he does want me to stress that he did find it on Thingiverse, so it's not his original design, but he's had to alter it slightly for his needs. And it's a cheaper alternative to injection molding, though it doesn't sacrifice any of the quality. The boards are custom made by him and an engineer. It's to be used with the Atari 7800 and or the 2600, okay? It's a $24.95 value, and even if you purchase one of these, every controller he has comes with a 30-day return policy, okay? Now, I believe some of them you may have to pay the shipping back. You'll have to deal with him on that one. But the chances are you're never going to have to contact him about this. I've already talked to people who've owned some of his products when I made that other video about the Robotron controller, and they all said it's top-notch stuff. This guy, he's banging it out. Okay, so here are the rules. I'm going to put a link down below. It'll be down below on every video until after October. It'll bring you to my campaign, that thing up above there. Okay? You're going to donate. And every single dollar you donate will give you one entry, one ticket, whatever you want to call it. So if you donate $1, I will put your name in once. You put $10 in, your name will go in 10 times. The math is simple, guys. I'm not going to go any further. You can figure all of that out. I will use a randomizer, hopefully live, if I can figure out how to do it live. We'll do a live stream probably the day after it ends to pick the winner. So if Joe donates $15, he'll have his name in that randomizer 15 times. If Sally does 5, she'll have her name in there 5 times. And I'll put it in the randomizer and I will click it. However many people have donated. So if 6 people donated, I will click that button 6 times. And whatever name pops up will be our winner. And they will get this controller free of charge from that point on. You're donating, you're still spending money. I hate using that word free. But you are. You're helping out a great cause. You're helping me in my cause. And you're going to get a free controller in the end, hopefully. All it takes is one entry. So if you just want to throw $1 that way, throw $1. If you want to throw 100, by all means, I don't mind typing your name 100 times, and I'll show everybody your names are in there. So I'll try to do it as legit as possible, but you know me. I'm not going to shiest you out. As far as how long you have to do this, I thought about this one overnight. We've talked about it not even 24 hours ago. July 31st is when I'm going to cut this off at midnight, okay? I know that's a weird time frame. That's like 1 month and 2 weeks or so. But I want to give people plenty of time, plus Psychologically, I said it has to be at the end or the beginning of something. So I figured we'll cut it off at July 31st at midnight. That'll give people plenty of time. Some people get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. Maybe if you want to save up $5 from this paycheck, $10 from this paycheck, you don't necessarily have to do that. You want to give me $1 this week, you want to give me $10 next week. Your names are still going to go in there. Here's the only caveat to this. Is that the right word? This is only open to people here in the lower 48 states. So Canada, Hawaii, Alaska, and of course overseas in Mexico. I apologize, guys, but he's just not able to do that right now. Maybe, I don't even want to put this out there, but maybe if you contact him first and say, hey, look, I'm willing to do the shipping. We'll worry about that when we get to it, so as these questions come up. But as of right now, it's only offered to those in the lower 48 states, okay? You have to have a way of me knowing it's you. So, let's go over here again, and I will click on, when you type in that link or you click on the link, this is the page that's going to come up. Atari is fundraising to honor Robert W. Call. It says it right here in the top, okay? And it just says a little thing here, that my dad, blah, blah, blah. This part here is the important part. So if you look to the left, there's a scrolling thing. The Game Czar has given me $10. That's another thing. If you've donated before this contest goes up, I can't count that. I do apologize, but I got to keep it fair to anyone who does come into this after the fact. So your name will scroll there. So whatever you use there is the name I'm going to see. Okay? And of course, if you look to the right of that, it shows how well I've done and all that stuff. The donate button is just right below it here. You can see it's changing colors. You got some stats here, but more importantly, to the right of that, there's a box where you can type. See, I just typed a bunch of stuff. So if you use a name like Game Czar or whatever, but you want to make sure I know it's you, type it in there. Be like, hey Creep, I'm so-and-so. I tossed you X amount. Can't wait for the controller. Whatever, Make sure I can know it's you and be able to get a hold of me on either Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I don't know YouTube's way of collecting that kind of personal information, like messages and all that stuff. So either way, that's all I really need to say. So $1 per entry, $1 one entry, $10 10 entries. It'll be randomly picked via a randomizer. July 31st is your cutoff at midnight. Lower 48 only, and make sure I know who it is and I can get a hold of you, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll give that information over to Mr. Mike, and he will get that controller out to you lickety-split. And that's all I really have for you guys today. I do apologize for this being long, but it's important. It really is important. The Alzheimer's Association, helping out my buddy Mike, getting one of these in your hands. And guys, if you don't feel like giving to the Alzheimer's Association, and you just want one of these controllers, the link to his store will be down below. Just buy one outright. Either way, I'm satisfied. Just $1. $5, guys. What's the harm? You throw a few bucks, a couple cups of coffee. You have a chance to get this thing in your hand. Which, come on, let's face it, 7800 is a nightmare to play with that thing. I don't care how used to it you are. But that said, let's watch him demo this controller. This is actually that very one, I believe. And then I'll sign out and let you guys just go on with the rest of your day.
Hey guys, so this is a demonstration of the all 3D printed controller for the Atari 7800.
Notice that's a YouTube channel.
So as you can see here, just working on another design. All of this is completely 3D printed. The D-pad, the buttons. I've included a 3D printed cover over here to cover the start and select buttons because some people have made a suggestion that they don't want them and they want a different look. 3D printing is very smooth using a high quality PLA Polymaker Polylite material. It is very smooth and it functions very well as well. So just to give you an example, you can see my thumb, how responsive. Now it is a little noisy because that's part of the 3D printing piece. Basically the piece is making that noise, but as a cost-effective alternative to the injected molded cases and the other parts, this is definitely a very good way to get a gamepad feel for your Atari 7800 and 2600 at a good entry-level price. Thing that I'm also including is this grip. The grip is a little modification. I did find the grip on Thingiverse, so credit goes to the owner of the model, but it is available for download and use. I modified it a little for my needs. It did not fit my controller, so I had to make some modifications. The reason I'm including the grip is it does definitely make a difference. Let me just reset the game, and you can see it here. And it makes for more comfort, because with 3D printing, you can't always get such a smooth feel. It does kind of cut into your fingers a little bit. It doesn't hurt or anything. It's just not as comfortable as a regular Nintendo pad. But with this grip, it makes it extremely comfortable. Okay, so it's just a quick demonstration just to show you how it looks. It's available on eBay. I can make more of these at request and at different colors. Custom orders most likely will cost a little bit more just because of the time. I'm not making much on these, if you think about it, because I'm not including time to design it. I'm not including the electric and all that stuff for the 3D printing and all that stuff that, you know, factors in. Okay, enjoy.
And that's it, guys. And there you have it. Walk down to Alzheimer's, a free controller, or if you just want to go order one, that's rad too. But we would all appreciate it, you know, if you would throw a few bucks to the Alzheimer's Association. All money goes directly to them. I don't see a dime of it. Mike won't see a dime of it. And all three of us will feel that warmth in our heart. Now, see, my heart's a little smaller than yours probably is, so every little bit of warmth I can get, it's beneficial, guys. So go ahead, leave your feedback down below. Every link you will ever need for anything that I talked about will be down below. The link to the Alzheimer's Association, the link to his Twitter, the link to his eBay store, and probably a link to Santa Claus's website, because this guy feels like Santa Claus to me. But either way, guys, go ahead and leave feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the Creep is positive. Thank you always so much for your support, guys. Thank you to everyone who's recently subscribed. Huge influx, and it's I really, truly do appreciate it. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing, what you have seen, and what you will see in the future, guys. And until next time, as always, take care, creep it real, and let's end Alzheimer's, okay? And bye-bye. Get yourself a free controller.